Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Liverpool on the back of two wonderful wins, two great wins, two wins that reminded us that we've got a good football team and a good manager and good players and all of the stuff that makes you feel happy as a football fan. Decided on Sunday, today, to go to the Etihad and just be miles off it. Absolutely miles off it in terms of effort, work rate, tactics. City were just better than Liverpool, and I've seen that before. I've seen Liverpool get absolutely battered by them, and I've seen more conclusive City victories. I have, sometimes games can get away from you. There is some teams that are so good they can just take a game of football away from you, and Liverpool are one of them. They have been. Not this season, but they are one of those teams, and they've done that a number of times over the years. So I recognise the feeling. Liverpool had some massive calls go against them, or a massive call go against them, definitely, and possibly two. And then a couple of real slices of bad luck in terms of goals they conceded the first two goals. But the response wasn't good enough, and I think Slot had hit upon something in the week. He made some good decisions and Liverpool were much more at it. And there were some moments in this game where Liverpool were all right, but nowhere near enough. And it's a stark reminder, really, that he's looked to refresh the squad, he's looked to bring new things in, and he's kind of gone back to basics with the Villa and the Real Madrid game. And that's cool, but it needed a bit more freshening up today, I think. City had 24 hours less to prepare and made 3 changes to the team and and they're at home and they had big slices of luck go with them, but City just looked like they had a bit more than us and we looked a little fragile. And I think the real kicker on all this, because it's worthy of a discussion, that it's a super soft penalty. Now, we get away with that because Mamardashvili saves it ultimately, but I'm not sure that's the greatest VAR overturn that the world's ever seen. And then Van Dijk scores a header. We're 1-0 down, and Van Dijk scores a header to get us back in the game. Robertson is in an offside position, like, technically, from the idea that, he is stood offside when the ball is played forward, and he has to duck in order for the ball to go past him. So I can appreciate that there is probably a subsect of people who would look at that and just immediately go, that's definitely offside. I think all of them are employed in the VAR department. But I would contend that he's not interfering with play because he ultimately gets out of the way of it. And I could understand that if he was between Van Dijk and the goalie and he has to duck at the last second, then you can argue that he's interfering. But at no point is he in the eye. From the moment that it makes contact with Virgil van Dijk, he's not in the goalkeeper's eye line at all. Because the goalkeeper, and you see it from behind the goal, he watches it, he sees it make contact with it, and he dives. He doesn't get in the way of the dive, nothing. So, yeah, it's one of them. And the problem is that if you're not going to be 100% on it, then you do need sometimes things to go for you, and things didn't go for Liverpool today. But you're left here feeling like a tit, like you should cry arson about things, because those cases are well easier to make if you're just a bit better at passing it to your own players and creating opportunities. And the fact is, Liverpool's best spell of the match, the better half of performance, was in the second, when the game was beyond us. From 20 minutes left in that match, there was very little there to be played for, and you could see that, unfortunately, in a couple of the performances of the players as well, I thought. And what I mean by that is, it's actually typified by when you bring Chiesa on, and Chiesa is the kind of player who runs through a brick wall for you all day long, tirelessly, no matter what the score is, because that's the type of footballer he is. And Liverpool used to be full of footballers like that. And when, Mo Salah's offside from a pass from Chiesa, and he shouldn't be, because he should be switched on, but you just got a little bit of a sense of a few lads going, I've got things to do here. And is Salah in those situations? Does he have one eye on his fitness levels for the AFCON coming up? It's probably going to be his last big hurrah in that tournament. I remember feeling that about a few players when the Qatar World Cup was coming up as well. I think Van Dijk had a little bit of that season. I don't know. It's when things aren't going right, it's dead easy to turn to like negatives and casting blame and what have you. And that's the way we analyse football. So fair play. I'm sure everyone will have their takes. What was it in particular that you thought Liverpool was bad with Liverpool today? Please do let me know in the comments. We just didn't get to grip. We pressed them okay, but then City are brilliant. So if they get through your press, you then need to have a second plan for what happens. And it felt a bit like Liverpool go, right, let's get back to the high pressing thing. And City are set up to deal with that. The midfield structure they've got in Bernardo Silva and Foden, who can just go anywhere on the pitch in order to help them build up. Just got around what we were trying to do so many times. And we did cause them issues a couple of times where they just panicked a little and they kicked it out for throw-ins, but we were never able to capitalise because then we tried to pen them in again and they play out and we never got any consistent pressure. We were never able to, for any length of the game, to keep them pinned back into their half, let alone into their 18-yard boxes when you can really sort of start to turn the screw in a game. And is that just because we should have refreshed the midfield? You know, we played a little bit more football when Curtis Jones come on. You know, McAllister has really turned the corner in this last 10 days or so, or 2 weeks, whatever it is. But he's been legged everywhere. You know, we've just got him back into fitness, and then have we then overplayed him and stuff? I don't know. I really, really don't know. Part of me thinks Tuesday to Sunday, that's all right. You know, we should have been okay in not making too many changes. But I don't know. It felt like City knew what we were going to do and we weren't quite as prepared for what Man City were going to do, is my overall sort of take on this. And then, yeah, when you needed someone to go and grab the game for Liverpool, took Szoboszlai 55 minutes to get into the game. Good once he did. Vert was okay in bits and pieces. Salah was okay. Salah's played much worse than that this season. He's had a couple of half decent, moments for us. We created a good opportunity. We scored a legitimately good goal ruled out. Gakpo misses a sitter, and if you take those, could be different. But I do feel a little like I'm reaching, if I'm being honest, because you never really got that sense that this was Liverpool, like really, really toe to toe on it today. It just didn't happen for us. So another international break where we're going to sit and stew in our own misery. Thanks, Liverpool. Look, yeah, it is what it is. This is going to be. I think I said this possibly post Villa, or I think it was post Villa. It doesn't matter. I said it in the last week that it's great that we've proven that we can win football matches again. You need to do that. But actually, what we need to remember is, there's clearly something, there's an imbalance in what we've done in terms of like the structure, maybe a bit of the signings, tactics hasn't quite settled down. We're not the all-dominant force that we were last season. It's a transition season, which means there's going to be downs as well as ups, but we do need to get back into the habit of having a few more ups to counterbalance the downs. But when you consider that we just couldn't win a game of football, the fact that we've won 2 of the last 3, something right. Anyway, small crumbs of comfort. Listen, if, like me, you're a bit annoyed and bored and sick of having things in your life be totally dictated by 11 lads not being good enough to bring you joy on a football pitch, I've just released a video on my YouTube channel, and I've released something on my Substack as well about a project I've been working on for 17 years that I've just launched this weekend. I will link that at the end of the video if you wanted something non-football related. But I tell a little bit of a backstory of my life that got me to all this. It's not Liverpool related at all. So if you need a bit of a palate cleanser, come and check that out, because I'm very, very excited by it. And I'm trying my best not to have Liverpool dampen the mood on that one as well. So yeah, thanks so much. Drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, hopefully Liverpool can put some more smiles on our faces soon.